All right, folks, and we're back, and we're going to head to the English Premier League, Terry's favorite league. Karen, I'm not too sure. You'll tell us afterwards. Yeah. But we're going to talk about, Terry's team, Tottenham versus Arsenal.
Come on, you Spurs.
Yes, come on, you Spurs. Listen, I have my Romero jersey, as you know.
Yeah. So
I have a soft spot for them. There's some Argentines. In fact, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let the live streamers comment in the comment section below. I know Terry knows, but one of my favorite Argentinian players somewhere in the fast played there.
Yeah.
I know who Terry knows who it is. But, we have the director actually has something for a bit of a surprise for Terry that we're going to pull up really quickly. That we dug up in the archives. Look at that guy. Karen. Who is that guy? Look at that guy.
I think I scored a goal in this one.
Oh, yeah. So,
back in the day.
Not looking bad at all, Terry. Terry played, So, this is the right guy, to speak about Tottenham. So, obviously, it started off pretty crazy. Arsenal looked like they were going to run away with this game.
Yeah.
And the first half, it was pretty scary, I think. And then, in the second half, Tottenham stepped it up. And it was 3-2. Terry, Arsenal is a team that we like to joke about that they're going to bottle things. It looked like they were going to bottle that 3-0 lead.
Yeah.
But, they ended up holding off. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, I looked at it. I thought Tottenham actually started the game very well. We scored a goal that was disallowed. Mm-hmm. VAR again, stepping in. But what was a concern to me was, with the technology we've got available today, we conceded 2 goals from corners by bad marking. Mm-hmm. And the goalkeeper gets in such a fluster with whoever's around him, instead of concentrating on the ball, flight of the ball. You see, back in the day, we'd mark on the outside, so you're pushing that centre forward towards the goal, not outside.
Yeah.
So you're attacking everything in here. The goalkeeper is looking after everything inside that 6-yard box, so you've got a lot of things covered. But I just thought these 2 goals we give away are poor.
Yeah.
And then going down to 3-0 before half time, I thought, oh my God, we could get 5 or 6 here.
Yeah.
But in the second half, comes strong again, Tottenham. Good possession, good player, created some great chances, pull it back to 3-2. And I just think we ran out of the clock.
Yeah, it was.
Otherwise, we'd have got something out of it.
I looked at the set plays.
Yeah.
Karen, you can let me know your thoughts on this. Set plays are interesting because, the goalkeepers, and this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
When you analyzing these things, you saw it yourself, Terry.
Yeah.
Where, the goalkeeper, he seemed flustered.
Yeah.
He was paying attention. I mean, obviously, you want to pay attention to the tracking of the ball. You want to make sure your defenders are doing their job. In a situation like that, a team like Tottenham, who's pretty strong, I think.
Yeah.
They have Romero and those guys in there. Do you think... I mean, this is the tail end of the season. But, to make mistakes like that this close to the tail end of the season where points are valuable, what are your thoughts on that?
It's always a difficulty when it comes to those multitude of those kind of derbies.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not even your intent, but you have to have a high level of concentration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And those things are actually going to be determining factors, or could be, so to speak, determining factors of games. And it's just inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked you all, because, both, players. I asked it that way because is it sometimes, even at the elite level, the concentration just drops at times, as big as the games are, as good as these guys are, you coaching Terry, he could only do so much, and then on the field, these guys have to get it done. Do you think it was just down to lack of concentration, the situation has got to them?
Definitely.
I look at it as well, and you see, when you look at how Arsenal set up with their corners against Tottenham are marking space. And I thought, this is not going to work, because it's just you get a run and jump on the defender. Mm-hmm. And the goalkeeper clearly was targeted, because they've seen him struggle in several games before this with corners. And I just think Tottenham have got to be better than that. I think with technology today, we've got to be better organised. We should have blocked that back space. Mm-hmm. All of the Arsenal players are outside the 6-yard box, wide of the area, wide of the goal. So to put bodies in front of that would have been much easier to block their runs off. And then you're leaving the goalkeeper almost 1 against 1 with the one player in there.
Yeah.
But disappointing for me, obviously. I wanted Tottenham to get something out of the game.
Yeah.
Can Arsenal go on and win it? I think that's unlikely, because Manchester City have got games in hand. And Manchester City have proven over the last 2 or 3 seasons Once they come to this stage of the season, they win every game.
Yeah.
Every game.
It's something about Manchester City at this point in the season, they get it done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They always get it done.
Do you think it's because of the tactics of the coach?
absolutely.
Yeah. I think Pep Guardiola just instilled that, yeah.
Well, if you look at what he's done over the last years, we've got these international dates. Week, 10 days, players are away. In that last section, which we've now just done the last international, they win every game after that.
Yeah.
Manchester City.
Yep.
And all of the big players play every game. Doesn't matter who they're playing against, boom.
Yes, and we've seen it so many times. Terry and I spoke about it on, the other show we did as well.
Yeah.
We even joked about it because some Arsenal fans, were not happy. I mean, I sympathize with the Arsenal fans. I understand, you want to win that league, but, they need to get that spine, to
But I think
really get it done.
Arteta's done a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When you look, it's a very young side still. He's brought one or two bits of experience in. But their quality of football, listen, the last time round we were talking about, they got beat in the last games against everybody and anybody. Now they're stepping up. They're a tough team to beat, home and away. They're scoring goals for fun. There's a lot of confidence within that side. I think Arteta, with one or two more players, top quality players,
Yes.
is going to be there.
Yeah, I agree. They're 2 or 3 signings away from being
Yeah.
forced.
Yeah.
But, speaking about data, SofaScore always gives us wonderful data. So let's pull that up really quickly, the possession stats and so on from that game. Thank you, SofaScore. As you can see here, the expected goals, 2.42, which is a brilliant metric, by the way. Shots on target, you see 15 versus 9, 58, 58, which was pretty even. Possession, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Tottenham, 62% versus 38. And Tottenham created 4 big chances, which is a point I'm going to bring up next, versus 3. And overall rating, pretty much the same, 6.77 versus 6.90. And also, let's pull up the formations as well really quickly for both teams.
We look like the better team there, Andrea.
That's what I'm saying. As you can see here, Arsenal going with their 4-3-3, but at times I saw it, the thing about formations, which we'll get to afterwards, they're more like guidelines. They do switch during the game. Tottenham going with their usual thing at the back. To me, no big surprises there. But what I want to bring up is, the performance of, Arsenal's goal-scoring man up front, formerly at Chelsea. I'm not going to say his name because I want the live streamers to comment underneath, because I'm having some interaction here, Karen. We have our live streamers because we have viewers from just outside Trinidad and Tobago as well. Thank you guys for joining. We appreciate the support and the likes and the sharing and the questions. I try to answer all the questions all the time. But Kai Havertz,
Yes.
Let's talk about Kai Havertz. This is a guy, people robbed him off as a flop at Chelsea. I liked him when he was, in Germany as well. I felt like, that's a whole other discussion, which we'll get to in the third topic about Chelsea.
Okay.
We'll deal with Chelsea, folks. Don't worry. What do you think about Kai Havertz form for Arsenal, Terry?
I think he's a good player, dependent on the position they play him in. I think that's the problem that he's had, both at Chelsea and at Arsenal. In the beginning, do they play him centre forward? Does he play the number 10 position? Is he a midfield player? Where's he playing? They just haven't nailed him down.
Yeah.
Because he's clearly got the abilities. And at this level, you need goal scorers in your team.
Yes.
And that's what this guy does. He's great in the air, set players. He's always getting his head in there, getting things done. But I think Arteta's bringing the best out of him at the moment, Karen.
Yes, let's pull up the stats for Kai Havertz from this particular game, because we love stats on the show, Karen. As you can see, SofaScore once again with this brilliant heat map. As you can see, that's where he is on the pitch, that's how amazing technology is now, folks. You can get this stuff. So he played the full 90 minutes. He got that goal, 1 assist, shots on target, 1 big chances created, 1 key passes, 2 duels, 1 at the physical aspect of his game. And SofaScore gave him a rating of 8.5, which is very high.
Yes.
Also, we have his overall stats for this season, which we'll pull up here quickly. I mean, that heat map is pretty crazy, but that's throughout his entire season.
Yeah.
Played the 48 matches, got 13 goals, 6 assists, key passes per game, which is 1.1. Successful dribbles, 52%. Duels, 1. He is pretty physical. That's something people accuse him of not being in the past.
I think that's quite impressive.
Yeah.
When you look, I didn't think he'd done as well as that. I'm looking at his goals. And again, organising him in his position of player that you get the best out of him. Karen, I think he's done a great job with him, Arteta, because he's getting up and getting on with things. At Chelsea, I'd see him go over trying to get free kicks here and there for little knocks. this Arsenal team are robust. They're standing their ground. You knock them, they knock you back.
Yeah.
And I'm loving that about the game.
Yeah.
And that's, over the last months, we've seen that in the Premier League. Referees get on with it.
Yes.
We're not giving simple free kicks away for a little knock.
That's
Clear.
very good. I love that too.
And Kai Havertz here, I think, has done well. He's strengthened himself up. He's been a player. Arsenal have found him the right position to play in, and it's working, clearly.
And Karen, as somebody who's a goal scorer,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I know.
Well, I was about to ask Terry a question. Do you think the reason why Kai Havertz is being able to play the game that he's playing because of the players around him versus the players that Chelsea had and the positions that they had in play?
I was going to ask that.
I think it's more along the lines that Arsenal believe that he's a great player.
Okay.
I think when he was at Chelsea, he was almost looked like as a squad player.
Okay.
Not as good, not as important as some of the other bigger players within the team.
Right.
Mechanism. But with Arsenal, he's becoming one of the top players.
Yeah.
And he's scoring goals. His stats that you've just looked at there are fantastic for that position in behind the striker. And the way Arsenal play, sometimes it's the two wingers high and the centre forward withdrawn into a midfield, so you've always got your numbers. Recognising, guys, games today are about numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's where you can outnumber the opposition to keep possession of that ball on a regular, and this guy can fit into them positions perfectly.
Correct. Karen read my mind, folks. You know, we may be replacing myself soon with Karen Forbes with the brilliant and insightful questions. But, you know, let's take a quick look at the table. As you can see, you know, the EPL table is, you know, Arsenal is on top. But as we all know, Man City is there creeping behind. And Liverpool, well, you know, that's another story we'll talk about. Aston Villa is a team I'm in love with right now because of Dibu Martinez.
Yeah.
That's another topic. And of
Done a
course,
great
Terry's.
job. Done a
Yeah,
great
you know,
job.
Tottenham. So, you know, final verdicts, we kind of touched on it already. You know, I'll get the final verdict from you both. So, Karen, I'll start with you. You know, we both kind of said that, you know, Man City is just going to come and... Are they going to break Arsenal's heart again? Is it going to happen?
Based on what I've seen Man City doing, they're very difficult to break down.
Yes.
And like looking at them is a prime example of what you would have seen years before in Barcelona, by Pep being able to utilize these players' strengths and put in a system geared towards getting them success. So Man City is a very strong team and they finish strong. So it's going to be for Arsenal now to be able to find loopholes or way in which to be able to still stay on their heels that, you know, make it all comfortable.
Yes. What do you think, Terry? Are they going to slip up again?
Listen, you'll love this one, right?
Yeah.
From a Tottenham guy, I would love to see Arsenal win it.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's come on, he's done a great job, Arteta. Arsenal is a force to be reckoned with now, yes.
Absolutely.
But I think Manchester City have got away with a lot of things behind the scenes where they should have been deducted points.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been brought to the forefront.
Yeah.
Yet they bring in Sheffield United, Everton's, there's other teams in the fray, Chelsea, in fact, another one. Manchester City, more than anyone, with the way they've transferred and moved money with players and whatever else, should have been deducted points.
Yep.
And I think the Premier League needs somebody fresh at the top.
Yes.
So we're not seen as that one-team league.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what happened with Syria after many years.
Correct.
It was boring, you know, you just knew Juventus was going to win. At one point in time, it was Barcelona in La Liga. But now it's a little bit crazy. Now it's Real Madrid sometimes.
Yeah.
But, you know, that is a good point because Arsenal, for those of you who followed Wenger, Arsenal fans, I know these things. You know, Wenger, he basically was proud of the fact that of his economic approach.
Yes.
He was not one of those guys who was a fan of big spending to the point where sometimes people criticize him.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's something I admired about Wenger. You know, his approach to economics and Soccernomics, for those who read that book, for the football nerds out there like myself. He was very, very pro, or should I say against overinflation of players.
Okay.
Where you would sign players that, you know, he said, you know, you'd be signing players for 60 or 70 million euros that should be really about 20. And, you know, a lot of people criticized him in the end for not spending. But I understood why he was doing it. But in the end, results matters. And do you think, you know, as great as Arteta is doing, because of what you mentioned with Man City and the way they spend, you know, legally or not, is that going to overshadow his achievements, Terry?
I think it could do. I mean, when you look back, Wenger that you mentioned, who'd done a fabulous job.
Yeah.
We can't take away, before Wenger got there, George Graham had the side.
Yep.
Wenger never changed the goalkeeper or the back four. They were like granite. You couldn't get through these guys. They were different class. But he brought in a front six that were world class.
Yeah.
You know, your Bergkamps, Thierry Henry's, what a team that he had there. And I'm seeing that now in this Arsenal team. Saka is a great player, still a young kid, 23 years old. Yeah. You know, Martinez is on the other side. Yeah. What a player he is up and down, the Brazilian. I'm looking at this very young, youthful side that needs probably one or two players carrying of experience.
Yeah.
So they start winning something.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's when you look at Manchester City, that's exactly what they've got. Yeah. He's playing some young players throughout the season, but now that it's down to the nitty-gritty, all of the top players, the Jack Grealish is starting every game. Your centre forwards there.
Yeah.
Isn't that not why Jack Grealish went to Man City in the first place?
Correct.
To be able to win.
To win.
Yeah. You know, that's where the argument comes in, which that could be an entire show by itself.
Yeah.
You know, the financial issues, you know, how Manchester City with their well-documented irregularities.
Yes.
You know, and then you have Arsenal, you know, who in a lot of ways, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I respect what they're trying to do. In a lot of ways, they're still trying to keep that pure side of football. Yeah. They do try to play nice football, and they also try to do things, you know, by the books. You know, I appreciate the economic approach.
Yes.
You know, Inter Milan, it's no secret that's a club I support. But, you know, they have no money right now. And they rely on being, you know, having acumen in terms of not spending lots of money. And many people have said this, Zidane included, which is crazy because he worked at Real Madrid, how, you know, the big spending is hurting football. But it would be nice, I would love, as Terry would say, to see Arsenal win, you know, with the way how things are. Yeah. So, you know, streamers out there and also our live viewers all over the world, let us know what you think. I know there are a lot of Arsenal fans out there who have been crushed and broken. I understand we'll have a support group for you all. You all are always welcome on EXTV to talk about your problems with Arsenal, because trust me, I understand. Being an Inter Milan fan, I understand heartbreak.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching Extra Time TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe.